Ich krieg die Krise. Wieso jetzt schon wieder Probleme mit dem Internet? Ey Mann. Gut, ich bin doch wieder live. Ähm, gut, ich bin doch wieder live. Aber ja, keine Ahnung, irgendwie Router will heute nicht. If you have a visualization of the metaplace in 2 dimensions, it seems impossible for someone to go between layer 0 and layer 4 without crossing through 1, 2, and 3. And naturally, those who reside on 1 would know of it. By the way, layer 0 story, layer 1 between space, layer 2 between space, layer 3, kann ich jetzt nicht erkennen, aber das ist dann wahrscheinlich halt die echte Welt für Saturday, layer 4, Your World. Also, ja. But what if you expand your dimensions? What? The world axis is a beautiful thing, and nobody has truly understood it yet. But an infinity of layers that stretch upward and downward. Defining the spectrum of fiction, there are worlds that stretch horizontally in X and Z axis. When I merged with Storyteller, I did one key thing to importance on my return to layer 0. I took a little detour through the layer 1 of the world next to this on the x-axis and set up a link just now through the brief access I had to the Duskbreaker's core. A link that allows me to communicate, albeit in a very primitive way, with layer 4. And that allowed me to remotely store data in the TVO client and re-access it. Okay. You aren't saying you couldn't have... You saved and reloaded the entire state of the World Keeper? I smiled. Dawn staggered back in shock. She was quickly realizing there was little she could do to counteract this. Shit, you're fucking mental. I stepped forward. This game is over, Dawn. You have lost. But it seems like my one-up on her wouldn't last very long. She quickly got up and brushed off the dirt that had gotten on her dress in her fall. If you think that's going to be enough to take me down, then you haven't been paying attention. I stanced up cautiously, unsure of what she was planning. Are you forgetting the one thing I have that you don't? Yeah? And what would that be? Dawn smiled again, another cold smile devoid of any sympathy. Sympathy? No. The end of the world. It's not charged up yet. Don't try to trick us with that. You said it needed to be fully charged. Do you wait until your phone is at 100% before taking off the charger? Also ich lade es normalerweise halt über die Nacht. Da ist es dann immer zu 100% geladen. Beziehungsweise 80%. Ich habe halt bei meinem Handy das so eingestellt, dass es nur bis 80% lädt. But trying to activate automation prematurely is... Do you have any idea the risk that poses? Dawn's anger flared up. I don't have a choice. None of you understand. If Saturday wants to play with fire, then we'll dance by fire. And in an instant, she was gone. Even I could tell her retreat was hasty. I must have really concerned her with my newfound ability to save and load the data of the simulator. Tsuki, what happens if the automation is activated prematurely? Nothing good. Ist noch Internet alles gut? Da kommt es komisch aus. Okay, nothing good. Even worse than it already would have been. The deletion process has less power to draw from, so it's prone to... Before she could finish, just like at the graveyard, the sky turned a violent shade of red. Cheer ran over. Watch out! Immediately above us, a large meteor materialized in the air, glitching and twitching like a dying animal from the various polygons that it was made up of. Shit, go! We ran as fast as we could back to Chia's car. We made it in time and could only watch as the meteor fell, destroying the entirety of the monument that marked the northernmost point of Japan. Did we make it? Suki grimaced. We're not out of the woods yet, Chio. Get the car going now. A violent earthquake began to shake the ground. Tears and cracks in the simulated earth formed as the ground began to split apart. We jumped in Chio's car as fast as we could. As we sped down the highways, I heard a shrill laugh above us. I couldn't see who it was, but there was someone up in the sky. I knew who it was. Ah ha ha ha, let's see you wiggle your way out of this one. There was no mistaking it. It was the end of the world. We had gained an invaluable ability and spent our time limit at the same time. And sped up our time limit at the same time. There was no more turning back. This was the finale of the story. Und jetzt muss ich hier hin. Save Stage, Pandemic Call. Dann geht's jetzt hier weiter. Da ist noch ein Song. Oho. Hier sind tatsächlich auch mal Story Pass locked. Aber ich muss hier eine Batterie aufladen. Komm, es ist falsch. wird wirklich ins Cross-Tab aufgemacht. Oh, wait. Doch, ich hab Charge. Oh.
I just can't refrain. Bitterness so
Habe ich jetzt eigentlich da was verkackt? Komm schon.
I just can't refrain. Bitterness so quaint. One more shot, never again. All the excuses, always the same. All the times I tried, I just couldn't get over you. I just cannot hide the satisfaction you can prove. One more sip and breathe. My words disappear for a while. Then it all comes kicking in. I'm shaken, stirred, awakened. It's taken this pain to realize the truth. You have been through all the things I've been through. You can be my muse, I'll write these songs for you. Now I'm shaken, stirred, awakened. It's taken this pain to realize the truth. So take the craving, take away the craving. Please take away the cravings from me. I can stay away from you. I'll make my way to you. No more tries, no more nights will keep me away from you. I finally found the key that sets me free. And it's a happy
Muss ja dann auch schnell
I just can't refrain. Bitterness so quaint. One more shot, never again. All the excuses, always the same. All the times I tried, I just couldn't get over you. songs for you. Now I'm shaken, stirred, awaken. It's taken this pain to realize the truth. So take the craving, take away the craving. Please take away the cravings from me. I can stay away from you. I'll make my way to you. No more tries, no more nights will keep me away from you. I finally found the key to set me free.
Dann ja, es reicht aus. Crazy. versuche jetzt einfach so schnell wie möglich nach unten wieder zu kommen. So, wie komme ich jetzt darüber? Verstehe es nicht. Oh, ach wait. Oh, ich glaube, okay, dann habe ich das wohl doch nicht gesehen. I find myself awake, not in a place I would expect, but a formless abyss. It's been a bit since we've been able to chat like this. My vision adjusts, and I make out the form of a woman in front of me. Ah, Storyteller. Ich als Spieler spreche das jetzt. Lol. Wow, remembered. I'm honored. It would be hard not to. Why have I been pulled awake like this? Ah, right. I do apologize for waking an observer such as yourself from your position, but I felt it necessary to dispel some information about the oncoming apocalypse. I'm all ears. As you've just observed, Saturday has gained a valuable asset to her journey, the ability to store Duskbreaker data in your world and access it remotely to save and load in a sense. I nodded. I'd like to introduce a little mechanic I've added to the TVO client to allow you to assist her in surviving this ordeal. I've dubbed it the memory bank. I see. From this point forward, you will be able to remotely store and re-access the data of individual inhabitants of the similar in the memory bank. Think of it as save state for an individual person. This feature is quite intensive on the client, so I've limited it to only being able to store one slot at a time. If you want to replace the data stored in the memory bank, you'll need to clean the old data out first. It seems really helpful, but how exactly did you make this? You're not exactly here anymore. Storyteller law. I wonder, I'm sure you'll find the answer to that in time. There's always more dimensions than what you can see. Right, of course there is. Regardless, I may still have a part to play here, so I'm sticking around as best I can, at least for now. Also wait, wenn jetzt das Spiel aber plötzlich angeblich in meinem Namen plötzlich spricht, ich glaube, Layer 4 ist nicht tatsächlich die echte Welt, sondern immer noch nur eine simulierte Kopie sozusagen von der echten Welt. Fair enough. Now, this dream must come to an end. Return to your slumber of observation. I'm sure you will be able to guide Saturday to our reunion. I appreciate it. Don't mention it. Nighty-nighty. Nighty-night now. Oh. Archival and survival. By the time we made it back to Sapporo, it was after 1 a.m. We had ended up taking a safer but slower route back. We drove right back to the hotel where we were staying, but spotted a familiar face on the way there. Two, actually. They said, Erin Kotmi? What are they doing this far from the hotel? We pulled over and waved to them. What's going on, you two? Oh. Achso, meine Güte. Jetzt muss ich irgendwie in der Story die richtige Memory Bank laden. Enough, that was going to be my question. Wait. Ach du meine Güte. Save character data to memory bank. This will override any previously stored data. Confirm to save data. Keine Ahnung. Ich speichere einfach mal irgendwas. Und wenn ich das jetzt lade. Enough, that was going to be my question. Where's Elson? We were out for a walk when all of this started. She should be still at the hotel. I began to panic. Nothing good was to be gained from Ellie being alone during all of this. Shio, come on, you two. You two too. Hop in, quick. They did as they were told, and Shio sped through the streets. The world was in a state of chaos. Random buildings had caught fire. Some had been entirely absorbed into the air. The human beings that the Dustbreaker had so faithfully simulated were corrupted. Gucci masses, barely able to replicate any proper Japanese. The constant red tinge of the sky made things exponentially more ominous, of course. It was a bona fide apocalypse, no way around it. We were witnessing the end of the world before our very eyes. As we sped through the streets, a large crack opened up right in front of us, but she swerved out the way just in time. We finally reached the hotel, and I ran inside and up the stairs. As I climbed, I could feel rising heat, both figuratively and literally inside of me. The building was on fire. Fuck, Alison, come on! I felt the heat, and I remembered that day in Tanegashima, or rather those thousands of days. Those thousands of times that I yelled at the alley, my best friend, my favorite person in the whole wide world. In the whole wide world access. The love of my life. Please. But we weren't in the cycles anymore. We couldn't reset the timeline. If this was it, then... No, I'm not letting that happen. I reached the floor we were staying on and rushed through to our room. Cameras greeted me. I swung the door open, and my eyes took a bit to adjust to what I was seeing. First, rubble. And then, from under it, two contrasting colors, two objects, green and red. A hoodie, sleeve, and blood. No. Come on, Ellie. The world kept and liberator within me fought. And liberator? Okay. To move the rubble aside and gaze upon what lies underneath, or to run away now. I couldn't choose either before my strength gave away. I fell to my knees. And then the fire consumed me. A familiar feeling. This is what it's like to die again. Story log 2. Hint. Lol. Ja, okay, Spoiler. Spitzname. Aber ja, ich meine das Ernste. Dieser Stream ist ein einziger riesiger Spoiler. Ja, das kam es jetzt an. Du siehst es live. Du siehst es live im Stream. And after seeing the fate of her true love, would she still allow you to take the safer route? Oh. Ach du meine Güte. Jetzt muss ich wirklich durch die Kapitel durchgehen. Das heißt... das war zu schnell. Dort gibt es gar nichts, was ich noch speichern kann als Saturday. Moment, wenn ich jetzt mit diesem Wissen ganz weit hoch hier schade. War incompatible. Ich hab gerade irgendwie eine Abkürzung gefunden oder was? Lol. Auf jeden Fall. Und jetzt hier einsetze. Dann war es hier. Oh, was war Character Limit für Namen? In alten Spielen waren es 10 Zeichen. In neueren Spielen wurden es irgendwann zu 12 Zeichen erweitert. Aber wo genau das der Umbruch oder die Erweiterung stattfindet, weiß ich nicht mehr. Wait, wo ist es dann? What's to cheat? Was sind denn das für Namen? Ach du meine Güte, mit wie vielen Spitznamen willst du denn noch kommen? Meine Güte, sind das viele. Sekunde. Ja, okay. Okay, dann jetzt. Das kommt eben so. Also. Wo muss ich denn jetzt aber eigentlich hin? Oh Lol, ich habe eben gerade das Menü für Memory Bank aufgemacht, aber es wird ja gar nicht gezeigt. Oh. Okay, nee, das war nur ein einmaliges Event. Ich kann nicht nochmal nachschauen, was passieren würde, wenn man es halt nicht rechtzeitig macht. Would she still allow Chio to take the safer route? Vielleicht nicht wegen Alison zu Hause lassen, sondern hier. Okay, das war der Moment. Suddenly, I felt my mind overwhelm itself, and my vision blanked out. Alison. But there was no longer any fire around me. Instead, in front of me stood two concerned girls. Alison? Saturday, are you okay? What the fuck? What? I was confused. It took me a moment to realize, but I did. So it was you, huh? I guess it makes sense that you'd be able to do that much more freely than I could. Regardless, thank you. Thank you so fucking much. Saturday, what happened to you? You look like you've seen a ghost. No time to explain. If we do this right, I very well might have. Come on, put your foot on the pedal. Okay, we're going to take the safer road. I don't want to risk it in this. No, sorry, we can't. Why not? I gulped. Okay, listen, you're not going to believe me, but I'll explain anyway. I came from about an hour into the future where we took the safer route. We got back to Sapporo and the hotel was up in flames. And Alison, she... calm down, girl. Chill, go. We don't have time for the longer route. Alright, right, on it. So we ended up taking the faster route. As we drove, my mind was racing over what had just occurred. Did you save my data and load it? I guess you can respond, but if you can you try loading me again? Oh, I don't know how this is integrated into your TVO client, but maybe try saving my data and loading it immediately? The feeling is really distinct. I'll know if it worked. Also muss tatsächlich. Ja, so. Ha! Tuki looked over at me in shock. Fair enough, I guess, but that's beside the point. It worked. I remember passing by this place on the ride back. Holy shit, it actually made it back in time. This is fucking insane. Okay, but seriously, this is insanely helpful. We'll need this to survive all of this shit. I'm counting on you, okay? We made it back a lot earlier thanks to the route we took. This time we didn't run into Ari and Kotomi in the same spot, but closer to the hotel. I explained the situation they got in as we raced towards the hotel. I know I shouldn't be surprised anymore by this, but it's mind-boggling nonetheless. Useful, absolutely, but very confusing. Yeah, I don't know the extent to which it can be used, but I had Slimy do a test save on the way here, so they can do them relatively frequently, I think. Once we arrived, I rushed out of the hotel and up the stairs. The building was not aflame yet. Wait a minute. Ist es nicht am Anfang der Story so, dass man den eigenen Namen eingibt und dann gesagt wird, dass man selbst eigentlich das TVO irgendwie aufsetzt oder so? I burst into the hotel room. On the single bed was Allison. Sleeping, not dead. Oh my god, I couldn't help myself from falling to my knees and sobbing. I was so sure I'd lost the most important person in the world to me forever, and all of that was coming out now. The sobbing seemed to wake Allie up. She got out of bed and helped me up. Said, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" "I'm better than okay, Allie. I'm just so happy to see you." Alison got a little flustered. "What's gotten into you, girl? Tell me what's up." "Promise I will, but we need to get out of here, right now. Trust me." "Well, okay." She put on her shoes and we rushed down the stairs. As we did, she observed a good few glitches in the terrain. What the hell is going on? The end of the world, no other way to put it. And now isn't the time to mince words. The end of the world? Then Dawn, she's trying to corrupt the simulated world and everyone in it. That's obscene, Christ. We rushed out the front door of the hotel. Chiyu, Tsuki, Kotomi, and Eri were all standing at the back entrance, so we ran up to them. "Eri goes, guys all holding up?" "As best we can. Looks like Allison's okay." Yeah, just barely, according to Saturday." "Okay, Ellie, there's one more thing I need to explain." "I'm all ears." I told her about the newly gained safe state ability and how I'd seen her body in an alternate timeline. It took her a bit to grasp the idea, but she did eventually understand. Allison looked up at the sky. Its red was starting to dissipate, but the glitches remained and kept getting more frequent. "I can't believe this is actually happening. Just what the hell is Dawn thinking?" "I wish I could tell you, but we don't have time to worry about that. We need a plan of action, and fast. About that, I may have some kind of a thread we could follow." I turned to Suki. "Go on." There was a locked cycle that I found myself coming back to from time to time. I think it was 2949, around there anyway. In this cycle, you did something you didn't do in any of the other cycles. After you got your leg injured and did the whole break-in thing, you didn't go to Tokyo. Huh? You waited for your leg to heal, and then you went back to the shrine. You went back underground, and something really bizarre happened. Fell through the world into the code of the Duskbreaker. And Dawn committed suicide to reset the cycle. What? What? How does that happen? I spent most of the next cycle studying it, and what I determined was this. You're aware that a lot of the story log moments up to log S are Dawn's doing, right? Specifically the museum fire and the shrine cave-in. Yeah, she was artificially creating a story for me to follow. So when Dawn on layer 1 manipulates properties of layer 0, it leaves a slight trace behind. The world isn't anticipating having been forcefully played with like that, and it doesn't quite know what to do. And from these, you can backdoor the code in a similar way to what we did at the monument. And there's 2 of these? 3. They're at the Tanigashima Geology Museum remains, basement of the Sunrise Foundation Lab at the Okawashi Shrine, and in the basement of the Sunrise Building in Shinjuku. All places that Dawn was involved with bringing into the sim layer. Wait, if those exist, then why didn't we go for those instead of the whole Capisoya thing? About that, I forgot. Who? I've learned that being more human has given me a actual memory. I can't forget things now, sorry. No, it's okay. I just was curious, and it's all. I nodded. Would these weak spots even still be there, or would the Duskbreaker auto-repair them with enough time? They stick around. In cycles that reach log S, the museum weak point was still there. And Cycle said reach log S, the museum waypoint was still there. Not be worried about if the corruption of the world itself affected those at all. Could we check the one in Shinjuku, just to be sure? I agreed with Ali. Better to be safe than sorry. Tsuki, Ali, are you guys good to come with me to do that? I am, but what about the others? Once we arrive back in Tokyo, I want you three to split off from us and find a place we can safely rest for a bit. We need a base of operations of sorts. I think. Oh, ich hatte jetzt eine müde. I concur. We can do that. Yeah, got it. Okay, let's get at it then. Do you think the trains are still operational? They're automatically operated, right? Even if the attendants are glitched out, we can still use the trains themselves. Let's run at the shop. Let's go. Turned out that the trains were indeed still operational. We hopped the turnstiles since there was nobody to punish us for doing so, and got on the next available train back to Tokyo. A, 8B. Und da sind noch 2 weitere Songs. Aber, wenn ich das jetzt auch weiter schauen würde, ich sollte jetzt schlafen gehen. Bin auch schon müde. Und deshalb Stream für heute vorbei. Ich werde das im Privaten weiterspielen, weil das war jetzt auch ungeplant. Ich habe einfach nur das Update gesehen und dachte mir, wow, das muss ich jetzt spielen. Habe es dann jetzt einfach im Stream hier gespielt und deshalb, ja, ich werde es privat weiterspielen. Morgen dann. Also, bis zum nächsten Stream. Ich muss aber auf jeden Fall Azurasa noch anschreiben, wegen wann stattdessen halt das nächste Mal das Soul Link spielen. Also, gute Nacht.